finished with the highest standings ever at the last European Championships, finishing second, losing out in the final to Team England.
Third possession of the game by Team Switzerland, so Israel took possession there.
And this is Hannah Hilkoff, a great attacker here, playing her college lacrosse at Clemson University, known as a huge goal-scoring threat, and they're just seeing her switch over to her left hand and finish the ball to make it 3-0.
Yeah, lucky to not get a shooting space call on that last drive, but we can share that there has been a change to the shooting space rules for this turn over the past year. So if you get a shooting space call on those drives now, if you make the shot before or during the whistle, you get to keep that goal if you score, as opposed to in the past where the goal would be disallowed and you would be given that free position shot. So now you make it, you take it, regardless of if the defense have put themselves in a dangerous position by coming in front of the path of the ball.
Nice, and you see there Hilkoff going straight from being the goal scorer to taking the draw and running off to switch her sticks there as Team Israel take the ball behind and start to settle this up. I think it's, something that's going to be really interesting here is, again, another difference between the international game and the collegiate game is you can't switch a draw stick on the field. So it is very tiring for a draw player who's playing with a draw stick. They have to run all the way to the bench, put it down, and then come back on. As we see there, a really nice step and shoot from the Israeli number 21, I think that is. Jordan Lipkin, playing her college lacrosse in Maryland University, a powerhouse of college lacrosse. As Switzerland, I think, are collecting themselves. This is such a high standard of lacrosse, and Israel have got some really stellar players on this team, and it's a kind of a different level to what the Swiss will be used to in their Swiss league.
Yes, and with the elimination of that 11-meter fan defense playing on that 15-meter instead, it's a lot longer to make those slides. We really talk about on defense having your head on a swivel, being able to watch the ball and your player at the same time. When that opposing team has such fast decision-making skills when it comes to making passes and making drives, you've got to be proactive on defense to cut off those passing lanes and those cuts, as opposed to waiting and reacting to that action.
And it's the first time here we're getting a look at Switzerland's attack with Janine Rashana, but they're just passing it and being intercepted by the Israeli goalkeeper. And you probably can't hear from the stream, but the Israeli fans are out in force today, making a lot of noise in the stands. They're excited about this one as well. So we're seeing now is Israel bringing the ball behind number 3, and a nice quick stick finish. That's a couple of assists for number 3 for Jackie Stoller on the day, and finish there. I didn't quite get the number of the player who finished that ball. I think but regardless, a really, really strong finish. I think that's from number 26. I think that's from Rachel Rosen, who finished that ball, played her college lacrosse at Penn State. I'm back with Hilkoff at the draw. I think this Israeli team already, we've only been playing for a few minutes, but they're looking sharp. They look well drilled, they look practiced, and what I really love is that they're making some great assisted plays as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of different contributors on this team, and you can see there's just like a really high level of field IQ and speed on the field. Yeah. You can see already with Switzerland on defense, I think they're struggling a bit to maintain that pace and match up in enough time to be competitive. We have gotten some feedback from people watching online that there's no visible clock for you, and we understand that because there is such changeable heat situation here for the games, it's a little bit tricky to get those clocks set up and maintain the times if we have changing weather protocols. So we'll try to get that up for you during the tournament. It'll be helpful for both you and us in the commentating booth. We're keeping our own time here, and we'll try to keep you updated as we move through the game of how much time is remaining. I unfortunately did not start it as the game started, so we'll start with quarter 2.
And that was a great free position goal there from Jordan Lipkin. Her second of the day, just tucking that stick underneath, running off on a nice angle to finish that ball. But yeah, I mean, Israel looking strong, sharp, and really showing what fantastic attackers they have on display today.
Now we see Switzerland engaging an overload strategy on their defensive end, which means pulling one of their midfielders off the circle, placing her behind the restraining line to act as the fourth defender if there's a fast break right off the draw from Israel. That means they'll start with only 2 attackers and adjust if they move that ball into their own possession. We'll see a reset of the draw. There would look to be a little bit of motion before that initial whistle. And that ball has to go above the shoulders of both players, taking the draw to be considered legitimate.
And that's Chantal Sieber, who's come up with the first draw for Team Switzerland of the day. But a really nice contested battle there as they swing it back through to the goalie, Luisa Moser.
What's going to be critical for Switzerland in these situations is that if they're able to get that really precise, wonderful feed from the goalie into the midfield, that they know where the next pass is immediately, because Israel will be on that ball, creating pressure, taking away those passing opportunities as soon as they get that ball.
Yeah, and you see that. I think that it's just a bit of panic under the pressure maybe that the Swiss team are not necessarily used to, as Israel now get the ball down and start to settle it and move the ball around. Score currently 6-0 to Israel, and we're in the first quarter. This is the first game in Group B, as there we see a really nice,
wonderful precision
nice
with that
move
pitching,
there, yeah.
pitching and passing.
Feed into the middle, passing out. I think probably was an opportunity for a shot, but there is one there. Number 1, Emily Wazoki.
And it's going to be really important for defense to be one step ahead of those cutters. Be proactive, make sure you're cutting off that passing lane, get your stick in the way of that pass.
And
we saw a lot of success with that exact shot yesterday in the Norway-Portugal game. A lot of active work around that crease, and you've got to have that defender ready, taking charge of the situation and preventing that attacker from getting that feed.
And we're seeing a change in the draw circle here from Team Switzerland. Ruth Pluvois taking the draw here, actually one of my close friends. So excited to see her out and see what she can do. But Hilkov there just showing why she's become a name in NCAA college lacrosse, taking that draw control herself. But not able to corral that pass as it goes over the restraining line. And a bit of a battle here.
Great patience here by Switzerland. A little bit of...
Yeah, and that's number 8.
A little bit of uncontrolled stick movement there from Israel, so Switzerland will retain that possession and try to move that ball.
Yeah, and that was number 8, Steffi Berger. She plays her Swiss lacrosse at Wettingen Lacrosse Club, and has been a veteran on this Swiss national team. As there we see Pluvois get pushed off the ball. So ball's in her stick with a nice 1-2 here. Oh, and a great save there from the goalie, but that was a nice opportunity from Berger. It's probably the first real extended period of possession we've seen from the Swiss team. You can see they're taking their time and handling that pressure.
Yeah, they have to make the most of these possessions, though, and that was not really a confident pass decision. A little bit too close with her teammate. Got to make sure they're giving each other enough room to move that ball around.
Yeah, exactly. And now Israel just showcasing some top-class stick skills as they're running the ball down and looking for another attacking possession, and they're going relatively quickly. Although now Hilkov taking the time to take some time off that ball and really settle it down and look for the best opportunity. As we see the Swiss team rearranging themselves, whilst Israel look to set up to go, and that's a great dodge and a great drive. Oh, looks like the goalie almost had a piece of that. But yeah, Moser getting her stick to it, but not quite being able to stop it there. And that's another goal for Hilkov, second of the day. I think what's been really nice actually about this Israeli team is it has been relatively even in terms of scoring. We've got six different players currently on the stat sheets from goals and quite a few assisted goals as well. So it's not just one player doing it all for them. They're really showing a long roster of talent here.
Yeah, they're really spreading it out and making sure everyone gets a chance to touch the ball. I'm not sure if we have a timeout or if this is the end of the first quarter. But we'll know in about 30 seconds.
Okay, and we are back after that
Timeout.
Timeout on the field as Israel leading Switzerland 8-0. This is the first match of Group B in the European Championships. Group B also containing Germany, Latvia and Poland, with Israel sitting near the top of the group based on their silver medal at the last European Championships.
And I think we have about 3.5 minutes left in this first quarter.
Great, as we're seeing a change in the draw control here for Team Israel. That's Annabelle Gertsch taking the draw.
Oh, and a stick through the feet by Switzerland, which will be an automatic awarding of the ball back to Israel.
As we see defender Rachel Rosenberg carry it over and distribute it back off to Emily Wazowski.
Great coverage by defense there.
And that's a good tip there. The Swiss coming out of this timeout really kind of pressuring harder on the defensive end of the field.
Israel will be getting a shooting space call there, though. Awarded a free position on that 15-meter.
And this is going to Talia Schmidt. Talia Schmidt. Oh, and she opts to pass it across, and that was a great shot, but the post is every goalkeeper's friend, and they've managed to keep that out with another feed going straight in there in the middle. Oh, she tried it behind the back, but yeah, I think that was a was a push.
A little bit of a push.
As we see Laura Rickley from the Swiss team, maybe a little bit aggressive, but also doing a good job to stop that threat in the middle.
Oh, great stop there by the Swiss goalie.
And that is Luisa Mosa there with the stop, passing that out.
So,
but another interception there. Oh, although...
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but I would say exactly what we mentioned earlier. As soon as they get that initial pass upfield, they have to see that open player, number 28, who was ready for about 3 seconds before that pass was made, before the Israeli defender got into that space to be able to reach for that ball.
Okay, and we're back here with Switzerland's second or third possession of the game. But yeah, looking here to see what they can do. Push it a bit harder. But also take a bit of time off the clock, I think. Feel the ball in their sticks. They haven't had an awful lot of possession thus far in this game. So, yeah, taking some time, and whenever they have the ball means Israel cannot.
Yeah, Israel having really tight defense on those off-ball players, preventing them from...
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, wow.
That is a great goal there from Sandrine Heller, who we saw dipping and diving and weaving, and you can hear a lot of support there from the Swiss fans.
She worked for that goal.
Yes, she really did.
And that will be the end of our first quarter with Israel 8 to Switzerland 1.
Okay, welcome back to the second game of the day on day 2 of the European Lacrosse Championships here in Portugal, Braga. The current matchup that we're enjoying is Team Israel versus Team Switzerland. Heading into the second quarter, after a really dominant first quarter from Team Israel, we've seen players right across the roster getting their names on the stat sheets, goals, assists, turnovers. Team Israel looking really strong, whilst the Swiss team just looking to kind of find their ground. As we have Team Israel there picking up the draw control. That's number 5, Levy Smith. Straight away a pass in. Oh!
Great defensive positioning there, right off the stick.
I think she was lucky not to be called for a dangerous shot there.
Exactly, as well. Whoop. And a little bit of pressure too early from the Israeli team, so Switzerland will get another chance to get that ball to safety.
Yeah, as we see there, Leila Kande.
And they've got to get some additional outlet passes here in the midfield for Switzerland so that they have some opportunities to send that ball further away. And it looks like Israel may come up with this ground ball. Oop, sticks a little bit close to the face there. They're going to get the advantage call.
Yeah. Back here with number 16, Talia Schnitt. And that's some nice stick handling there to get the ball across. A bit of pressure back into the hands of Hannah Hilkoff. Oh, and that is a great feed and a great finish. That's Batel Elikai. And I think what we're really seeing here is Hannah Hilkoff doing it all. A couple of goals, an assist, a few draw controls. She is going to be a real catalyst for this team and someone I think to watch as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was just a great feed. I mean, those, right cross crease. Not an easy one to see, let alone give, but really impressive there.
No, very well done.
And again, we're seeing Israel rotate their draw circle personnel a fair bit. We're seeing Levy Smith now taking the draw. I think in these kind of early stages of the tournament, you want to give everyone a go, make sure that they're fresh, and also work out who's going to work best in what situations.
Oh, and we have movement on the draw before the whistle by Team Israel, so that's going to be, they've changed that direction, by Team Switzerland, so it'll be Israel ball. And we do see Switzerland continuing with this overload strategy on defense to make sure that for those fast breaks, they've got an extra person down there ready to pick up that ball. And it looks like Israel is going to lose possession off of a stray pass, but you can see they're ready to put that pressure on immediately. They get that ball to the goalie. She's going to move it to the other side of the field to see if there's more opportunities to move that ball up. And
you can actually see Switzerland have made a goalie change after that first quarter. We've got Tiffany McIntyre now in goal. Strategic change there as Switzerland carrying the ball down the field.
Love that shiny red helmet, I have to say. And here we go. We've got a Swiss possession on attack. Let's see what they can do here. Israel pressing back on defense all the way behind net.
Oh, a bit of a mishap there as the sole goal scorer for Switzerland, Hella, just passed that and maybe had a bit too much might on the pass. As now Switzerland struggling to get back in transition, and a full almost field-to-field run for Rachel Rosenberg. A defender, everyone loves a defender goal. See her running all the way down, and the Swiss defense just not collapsing quickly enough.
No, and it's going to be a challenge throughout this game, throughout the tournament. Israel has so much speed in their game, both passing and running the ball up the field. So you have to be able to match that physicality, match that endurance through these kinds of games on defense.
Yeah, and really just exciting to see the power and speed of this Israeli team and showing that anyone on the field can score, can make turnovers. We're back to Hilkoff again in the draw, but can take the draw. I think they're going to be a really exciting team to watch for the rest of this tournament.
Absolutely. Let's see what Switzerland can do here on this draw. We see a little bit of movement as they're setting up. Nicely done. Really powerful. Wonderful pickup there by Switzerland.
Yeah, and
you have to be ready as those low attackers for those long. Ooh, a little bit straight, a little bit high, trying to get it away from that high pressure.
And again, we're seeing the ball a lot in the hands of Hella from the Swiss
interception
team.
There by Israel, trying to send that ball behind the net.
Yeah, and it is worth saying, Julie Krupnik in goal hasn't had much to do for Team Israel. Also playing her college lacrosse, a really well-known goalie from NCAA lacrosse. But yeah, hasn't had an awful lot to do, but when she has, it has been flawless.
Yep.
As we see them now settling the ball with Emily Wazoki.
Yeah, and I think with the aggression of that Israeli defense, the attack on Switzerland is not just going to be able to stand and wait to catch that ball. They're going to have to move towards the ball to give a little bit more momentum and protection moving that ball around.
Yeah, no, and that was just a great goal there from Israel again. A nice one-on-one individual effort. Little stutter step, but again, the Swiss defense just not collapsing soon enough or quick enough and allowing Israel that lane to goal.
We have around 9 minutes left in this second quarter.
As we are back to the draw control. And I think we're seeing both teams switching up their personnel on the draw quite a lot here. So 2 new girls back in.
Oh, almost possession there for Switzerland. They got their stick in front of it.
And Hilkoff coming up with another draw. Really been all over the field today. As we're seeing number 4, Ronnie Zilberman from Israel into the game.
Oh,
and
great
a great
stop
save
there.
Yeah, really great save there from Tiffany McIntyre. That's her first save of the game. Also really exciting to see her out. This is her first tennis-side tournament for Team Switzerland. actually only started playing the game of lacrosse a couple of years ago. Plays her club lacrosse in Basel, so yeah, exciting to see her make her debut in goal today.
I love it when you're able to see players progress from introduction to the game to a national team only in a number of years. I think it's so special in Europe to have that kind of development opportunity, especially we have so many talented athletes coming from complementary sports, whether it's football, handball, so they come into the game with a high IQ already and can really just adapt to learning the techniques for passing and catching and immediately contribute in these kinds of competitive situations.
Yeah, exactly. Really amazing to see. And as we see here, Hella, who has been Switzerland's primary ball handler for this first half, getting a centre hash opportunity here on a free position.
Yep, and here's the situation where Switzerland can be a little bit strategic in how they're setting up. You see they're leaving an entire half of that 15-meter open where they could have someone ready to assist and give them more options. So they'll need to be able to see those opportunities in the future.
Yeah, and we see that ball backed up by Nadia Rochman, as Switzerland look to settle that behind.
And we're going to have a free position awarded to Switzerland.
I think that's for an an off-ball foul there, as we see Sophia Niklaus here with the ball. I thought that was a good collapse from the Israel team, but perhaps just a bit too much on the push.
A little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
She's not able to keep it on her feet, so she'll get one more try.
Yeah, back again to the free position line, and I think the free positions now with the new rules in international lacrosse without an 11-meter are a bit of a topic.
Oh, what a wonderful weave through those Israeli defenders. Really confident goal, really well placed, I think, top left-hand shoulder of that goalie.
I was about to say a topic for debate as to how easy it is to run in a free position, but they're making it look very easy, taking your time, wrapping your stick round your face, protecting that. And yeah, great goal. Great to see another goal from Team Switzerland, and the fans are loving it. We've actually got loads of fans out in force today for both Team Israel and Team Switzerland, as we see Ruth Pluvois from Switzerland back to the centre circle. And taking it herself.
Oh, looks like we may have an early entry.
Yeah, I think you're right. Or too many players on the field, actually.
Oh, too many players on the field.
Too many players on the field for Team Israel. So despite the great draw control win, Switzerland end up with the ball anyway. Blue Voice playing her club lacrosse for Bern Lacrosse. Yeah, living in Geneva, having moved over from America a couple of years ago during COVID. As we see again, ball with Hella behind,
really
surveying
great
her
body
options.
Positioning from the Israeli defense there, low in the hips, ready to adjust to those quick movements from the attacker.
And some really nice defense here from Team Israel. That's number 13, Grace Burns. Great body position, denying any options there.
Oh, and she's going to go for that drive.
Oh, and a great save there from Krupnik.
Wonderful back up there by number 16.
It was a good drive, but an even better save really from Krupnik there. You can see she's jumping up and down in the cage.
And now we see Switzerland coming alive with the same kind of really nimble passing, looking for those second and third options. Wonderful twist around the top there, and Switzerland has their 4th goal of the game.
Yeah, and that was a fantastic goal from Janine Rochena. Yeah, just a nice little turn there. Yeah, very, very good goal and exciting. And you can hear those Swiss fans maybe from the stands, but they're loving it as much as we are up here. So score 11-3, Israel-Switzerland. If you're just joining us, this is the second game of the day at the European Lacrosse Championships here in Braga, Portugal. And yeah, we're just kind of closing on the end of the first half of this really exciting matchup in Group B.
Yep, we have, according to our clocks, around 4 minutes left to go. Oh,
and we're seeing
almost
a bit
had
of
a really
battle.
wonderful stick possession there, one-handed by Team Israel, but Switzerland's going to come away with it.
Yeah, and that's Niklaus again on the draw control. And I think this is a serious improvement from the first quarter for Team Switzerland.
Yep, that's going to be check across the body. They're going to get a free position shot off of that.
And this is Jacinta Edebelli for Switzerland, number 18, who was awarded the free position mark.
And you see Switzerland spreading those players out for those passing opportunities. She's going to go for it, though. A little bit too much pressure. Great back up there by number 20 or 33 behind net. Strong defense there by Team Israel, but she's going to go for that drive. Oh, little too much traffic, but she's going to get that.
And another free position
off of a push from the Israeli defense.
Feels like this has been a real quarter of free positions from both teams.
Yeah.
As we see here, Natasha Thiela on the free position mark.
Oh, and
but a nice
taking
stop
that
there.
big swing is going to give Team Israel just enough time to get that check on the stick and move the ball out of that path towards the net.
And again, maybe that's something that you could do when there was an 11 meter, but now that is gone. Oh, and here we see.
Oh, wow, great stop there. I'm not sure if that was off a defender or off the goalie herself, but they come back with a quick low goal.
Underhand goal there from Jordan Lipkin. That is her third goal of the day. But yeah, a little bit of a shame there. Switzerland managed to make the turnover almost identical to the other side, kind of having it taken away off a shot pass.
Exactly.
But then, yeah, managing to pick up the ground ball and finish it there in a kind of underhand, some might call it shovel shot type style. The shovel shot, I feel classically a shot that when you were younger, everyone would say, don't take a shovel shot, don't take a shovel shot. And now so many players are able to make it look really, really pretty.
Yeah, we have we have a shovel shot, then we have the Twizzler, which adds a little bit more. It gives you way more flexibility with that strong hand to make an off-stick move that the goalie can't easily track, especially if you've got a defender blocking that line of sight. But yeah, and I expect as the competition moves forward, people get a little bit more confident with those stick skills. We'll see some little bit more behind the back action, some more shovel shots, some more Twizzlers, which is just the way that we're getting highlights from these games as well are going to look great on those recaps.
And another great save there from Krupnik on Pluvois. Just a great save. I think she's been unlucky on a couple of her shots. Well, whether it's unlucky or just great goalkeeping, I think. But Krupnik's come up with a couple of great saves in this quarter.
I think we're heading into our final 30 seconds here of this first half.
Oof. And yeah, that's definitely a flag, and I think she could be looking at, well, I think she was lucky not to get a card there for a swipe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that will put Berger behind and give Israel another free position. As we said, a real quarter of free positions here. So this is number 1, Emily Wazoki, who chooses to pass off. And again, just immediately drawing another shooting space, but probably a slightly better hash mark here. You tend to see attackers, especially right-handed attackers, preferring that further side of the field so that they can run in on their right hand.
And she's going to pass the ball to the other side of the 15-meter, but the defense is ready for that. They're able to collapse.
Yeah, and they recover the ball there. Wazoki.
And a great recovery from the Swiss defense right there as well. Easy to pick up a shooting space call there accidentally, but she managed to get on her attacker with the right angle, and that's going to be the end of the second quarter and our mark for halftime here at this game.
Yeah, so as we go into halftime, we're seeing Israel leading Switzerland 12-3 in the very first matchup of Group B in the group stages of the European Lacrosse Championships. We're going to take a quick break now, but we'll be back with you before the start of the second half. Okay, welcome back to the first game in Group B, second game of the day at the European Lacrosse Championships 2024 here in Braga. We have Team Israel versus Team Switzerland. Israel leading 12-3 after the first half. And really just seeing a masterclass put on by Team Israel. It's been exciting to see Switzerland get a bit more into the game in that last quarter, but I've been super impressed by what Israel are bringing to the field at the moment. How about you, Anna?
I totally agree. I loved seeing this resurgence of Team Switzerland in the last quarter. It was really exciting to see. They were able to make a dent in that possession off the draw and create some more opportunities on the attacking side. But I would say from both sides, we're seeing a lot of free position shots awarded. That means both teams are making a lot of mistakes. So I think defense needs to lock in, focus on that body positioning, communicating more to take them out of those situations with free position shots, and also clean up the contact a little bit. We're seeing checks across the body and such. Let's see what Switzerland can do here on this first clear, and unfortunately that's going to go out of the field of play with Israel bringing the ball back onto the field.
Yeah, and talking about tightening up play, we're having a bit of a situation here with the goalkeepers. As you can see that the goalkeeper's trying to substitute off there.
Oh, and that's going to be goalie. Refs are calling time there.
I think
for discussion.
I think that's the goalkeeper number 27, McIntyre, appears to be injured, and was trying to run off the field, asking for a timeout.
Is it injured? Oh, it's an equipment issue. I think it looks like her chin strap is not properly attached to her helmet.
So you can see there, Moser, the goalkeeper that we saw in the first quarter, and I think who will primarily be their first keeper, is kitting up as well, looking
just
to
say, in case there's a delay in fixing that issue. Yeah.
There we go. So Louisa straight back in the cage, slightly unexpected as she didn't start that quarter. But that kind of, I'm
interested to see if this goal will count. It may.
No, I think they've called that goal off.
Yeah.
And here we see number 29, Shira Nateji. We haven't seen her in the game yet, and she's come in here for Team Israel.
Nice reaction there by the Swiss defense, mirroring that attacker. And great ground ball pick up there by number 28.
Yeah, so that's Natasha Fiala, and we've seen her at all ends of the field, attack, defense.
A risky pass to make, but I think Switzerland may be able to come up with it again. That is going to be Switzerland's ball. A little bit too much of body positioning issues there with Team Israel number 5.
Oh, yeah, and
this is going to be a great opportunity for Switzerland. What they've struggled with in that first half was making that first pass off of possession in the midfield. But it looks like a little bit of hesitancy with that ball control is going to get the ball back into Israel attack with some quick looks and a quick goal.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic goal there. Talia Schnitt, the feed from Rachel Rosen. And actually, those are two real stalwarts of Team Israel. Schnitt is the captain of the Israel team, third appearance representing Israel. And I also believe she is being drafted to the IDF, which is, I understand, the Israel National Service next year. And the feed there from Rachel Rosen, also a captain, also a third appearance for Israel, and splits her time between the US and Israel. And is also an assistant coach for the Israel under-20 team, who will be playing in Hong Kong in the summer.
How exciting.
So two real stalwarts of Israel across there, linking up for what can only be described as a great team goal. And again, Israel picking up the draw control there into the hands of Stoller.
Sun really coming out on this field now, which may pose some challenges to both teams making those passes. Not to mention the heat increasing as well.
Yeah, started off quite a rainy day here in Braga, but really the sun is coming out now, and the heat it's hotting up, as they would say. As Blue Voice has the ball here for Switzerland at the top of the arc. Looking here, a little bit of a roll dodge move.
Oh wow!
And a shot and a finish.
Beautifully placed.
And she is pumped about that one. I think that's her third shot of the day, having had a couple saved in the first half. So you can see she's pumped to put that ball in the back of the net. Also worth saying, this will be her first cap for the Swiss team today. So a goal on a first cap for Ruthie Pluvois is a great one.
Always exciting. Knowing you're coming into that squad for the first time, making your contribution on the field.
Yeah, exactly. So that takes the score there to 13-4.
Yeah. We're going to see Switzerland continue with this overload strategy on the defensive end. We've got 4 players down there ready to pick up that fast break from Israel if they get the possession off that draw. And we're going to have that awarded to Israel. It looked like there was a bit of movement before the draw was put into place.
Yep, so straight into the hands of Ronnie Zilberman. She brings it across. And we're starting to see a few new faces out there for Team Israel. And that was an absolute rocket there. Yeah, what a fantastic goal. Okay, and we're back at the draw again. And another nice draw control there, picked up by Team Israel.
And you see that extra defensive player on Switzerland is able to make a difference, covering that ball, covering that first pass to make sure that that fast break attempt is going to be thwarted. And now you'll see that they've evened out, picked up their attacking players, trying to set up on defense, communicate clearly, and make those early slides.
And that's an out of bounds ball there.
We also saw a little bit of contact from number 4 on Team Israel to number 12 on Switzerland. I'm not sure if that's involved in this call or if it's further off ball. Nope, we're going to see the ball awarded to Israel. So must have been something else on the other side of that 15. Great positioning there by defense, getting the stick in the passing lane.
And the ball there is corralled by Brooke Fishman, who's playing in number 18 today.
Wonderful matchup here between number 28 and number 29.
And that's some good defense there from the Swiss player, forcing the turnover.
And they're gonna get that ball
and picking up
really
that
great
ball.
Really great teamwork, flicking the ball back and forth towards each other, making sure that the person with the most safety in that situation can pick up the ball, get it away from those Israeli players. Now Switzerland needs to find this next pass. Oh, a little bit wide, lucky to have backup.
As the Swiss team clear the ball safely over the line.
Yeah. I think.
And we can see here the
pretty even pressure there, I think, from 28 and her defender, number 4, there on the 15 meter.
Yeah, I think so. I think she was asking for a little bit more space so that she could take a drive, but opts to move it on. As we see here, a really good check there. As a Swiss player trying to tuck her stick in, but really we've got Zoe Martin off to the races and drawing a shooting space there.
Yeah, I think Switzerland could have given each other a little bit more room to maneuver and take those drives on that previous possession in the attacking zone. It's a little bit hard when you have someone so close. That means they've also got a second defender there, which we call a free double team, because they can make that slide so much quicker. So need to spread out a little bit and anticipate that movement.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's what we're seeing on the other end of the field, right?
Great coverage here by Switzerland.
Although that's Condé there, who picks up the ball. Leila Condé also playing her club lacrosse for Bern Lacrosse. Go Titans.
What a graceful run up the field by number 26.
Long legs. Here we go, ball back in the stick of Hella. Behind the cage as Switzerland look to generate another attack. And a completely wide open cutter there. Lara Conrad finishing that ball. There was no one on her. That was definitely a miscommunication from the Israeli team, but actually really Lara taking her time, a couple of fakes and finishing that ball really nicely.
Beautiful patience, beautiful placement.
Yeah, plays her club lacrosse for Vettingen Lacrosse Club. Was a rookie on the World Lacrosse, on the Swiss team at the World Championships in Towson a couple of years ago. But yeah, just a great finish there. Takes our score to 14-5. And again, Swiss fans, I don't know what they have there in the stands, some kind of like tambourine or cymbals or something. But they are
tambourines, some cowbells. We've seen it all so far.
Yeah, they're excited.
I'm sad you missed our opening ceremony yesterday. It was absolutely raucous. Dancing in the streets of Braga. Every shopkeeper along this parade route coming out to see the players, see the flags, cheer on all the different teams.
I've actually heard reports that it is potentially one of the best opening ceremonies of all time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very sad to have missed that one, but excited to be here for the rest of the tournament. As we see again, the ball in the Swiss attack end of the field. Again, another nice draw control there for Switzerland. Hella surveying.
So here we see again, nice pick there set by Switzerland.
Yeah, a little two-man game.
If you're going to be close to your teammate, you got to do something useful and make sure that you're creating an opportunity.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. The Swiss are playing perhaps a little close in. But as we see here, number 12, Rachel Rosenberg, defender, looking for a defender assist.
Hard pass to make, but a great recovery there by number 8 on Team Israel.
Yeah, and that is the goal for Brooke Frischman there. And I think we can credit the assist to Rosenberg, a little defender assist, even if there was a bit of a fumble beforehand. I think we really are seeing some quite different, people out here for the Israeli team playing their full bench. This is the first tournament for women's lacrosse where you're allowed 22 players in the squad, and I think Israel are looking at playing their whole 22.
Yeah, I think we've seen that so far from all teams, making sure everyone in that first game of the tournament gets a few minutes on the field. I think when you do get into these further into the tournament, you'll see some more strategic resting of players on specific matchups, but also using, I would say, closer to 16, 17 people in a game. It provides a much better understanding of the flow and the momentum on the field, and understanding your opponents and who your matchups are. So it'll be interesting to see how that's used throughout the tournament. Oh, shooting space call there. Great patience by Team Israel, making that fake on the goal to ensure that they get that call.
And just a great drive in there. Levy Smith. Yep, the goal has been allowed there. Strong, hard drive, finishing, bottom right, textbook free position. And definitely a game, we have talked about it, but a game that has been dominated by free positions. Don't have the stats on me, but I would think at least half of the goals today have been off free positions. So definitely something for the team to be thinking about moving forwards.
Mm-hmm.
Also worth flagging, I think we have a change of goalkeeper in the cage for Team Israel, with Kelly Layton coming in, number 6, after Julie Krupnik played a pretty stellar first half.
Great positioning there by Team Switzerland. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to keep that possession.
It's Olivia Mann on there.
Quick on that ground ball.
Pulling the ball behind and settling it down. I think Israel are pretty content to take a bit of time off the clock now. They have a sizable lead.
Those longer passes with that 15-meter, you've got to have more power behind every one of those passes. Great spotting there by the Swiss goalie. Good possession. Now we're going to have to see if Switzerland can manage to get free of Israel in the midfield and have an open passing opportunity. Great outlet there.
Really great outlet.
We have to have that second pass ready, though. Or a very fast midfielder to just take the ball and run it.
Yeah, Niklaus has done a good job today, I think, in the midfield, and she carries the ball behind there.
I think that's something we sometimes see with low defenders when they... What a gorgeous follow through there. Super precise, short range goal. Lovely, well played.
Yeah, I mean, really doing it all, taking it from the midfield all the way over the line, running it behind, and then seeing a slight gap. However, there does seem to be some debate on the field. We can see number 2 is being shown a yellow card there, and I think that could be for a dangerous check on the shot. And that yellow card is issued to Batel Elikai, who is currently an IDF reserve soldier in Israel, making her second appearance, but being shown a yellow card there for a play that was just a little bit too aggressive. And because of that yellow card on the shot, there's no draw, and the ball is immediately awarded to Switzerland to start this possession. Good grab there from the Swiss. I think potentially taking a little bit too long to move the ball on.
Yeah, and this is a consequence of that 15-meter change that we've seen on attack. It's a lot more precarious to make those passes between the 15 and the restraining line because you have very hungry attackers from the other team ready to take possession and pressure you from the top. So instead of having 7-8 meters of space to play around on top of the 15, now you're cut down to 3. So you have to be a lot more careful with those passes. And that'll be the end of our third quarter here.
Yeah, I think a really exciting quarter. I think we're seeing Switzerland come into the game a little bit more. Israel playing their entire bench. But yeah, a much more closely contested quarter, I think. Seeing some great goals on both ends. What would your analysis be of the match so far?
I think we're seeing a different Team Switzerland than we did in the first half. I think they really were able to build on that momentum or maintain that momentum that we saw at the end of the second quarter and bring it through. They're seeing more success in the midfield, moving the ball up. So when they do get those turnovers, they're able to get it into their attacking zone. And I think they're also just making smarter decisions with the shots that they're taking. And I think they've also had a little bit of luck with Israel giving them those shooting space opportunities, a little bit of high pressure, and taking advantage of that. So it's been, great from both teams. Israel really continuing with the great stick skills and communication and the endurance. But I think also we're seeing more speed out of the Switzerland team, which we worried about a little bit in that second quarter. It hasn't really caught my mind as much in this third quarter, so I hope they're able to maintain that going into the final quest of the game.
Yeah, and I think, we can't not highlight how good this Israel team has been. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast that Israel won a silver medal at the European Championships 4 years ago. 5 years ago because of COVID year. That was their best ever finishing, and I think they're looking really strong and real contenders for this title, even to say that as early as day 2, but they look sleek, they look well drilled, they look fast. I think they look like a team that's going to cause some issues for everyone this tournament, really.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when we get into these more competitive games how they adjust. And but I see it's a very calm energy on their team. I think they have a lot of options in terms of skill and personnel. So it'll be interesting to see how they put that together over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
10 days.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how they grow and develop as a team, and I'm not necessarily could suggest that Israel will cause upsets because I think they are one of the favourites for the title here, but you know they for sure will be contenders that everyone will be having their eye on. So as we see here, we're starting the fourth quarter in this Israel-Switzerland matchup.
And Switzerland's going to come across with that ball with a quite clear check across the body there from Israel.
And Blue Voice has been really good on the draw in the second half for Switzerland. I wouldn't be surprised if they opt to go with her maybe for maybe a bit more for some of their other games. But as we talked about, first game out for all the teams. So just trying to work out who their best combinations are.
Great feed across that cage. It's always a dangerous decision to make, but they were able to make it without the goalie noticing in time. What a feed. Let's see if they can make something out of this. Smart, send it out to the 15-meter. Start from scratch without attacking. Take a breath.
And that is a great cut there. Unfortunately, unable to corral it. Body is flying on the floor. But no, that was a nice feed and unlucky not to be able to convert that.
Yeah, I think a bit messy from both sides, which is why we didn't see any specific calls there. And a really fast clear down the midfield for Team Israel.
So ball now with Jackie Stoller, moving on to Lipkin, who has had a fair few goals this game already, at least a hat-trick. And she makes it one more. She made that look easy. Just taking a hard drive on the shoulders, off those shoulders of the Swiss defense, and finishing nice, hard, powerful shot.
Decisive. You can see she's using the full range of motion on her arms to propel that shot to the cage and just straight into the net. Beautifully done.
Yeah, Jordan Lipkin had a stellar freshman year at Maryland, playing in the NCAA, and really showing why she's been so good at Maryland on the field today. And Israel going straight back to Hannah Hilcoff on the draw. I think after a couple of draw control losses, they've gone back to their number one draw taker, who wins it easily to herself. You can see there Lipkin calling for the ball. She's completely free. Nice little give and go option there.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to see number 28. You can see body language a little bit. She could be turned more towards the ball. You could see her ponytail was looking at the complete other side of the field. That's what's tricky for defenders on this 15-meter. There's so much space to cover. Trying to support your next slide over and also following your player as they move in the other direction. It's very tricky. Something that I know that my team, we had to specifically work out with some exercises to reorientate how we made those twists and turns on defense. So it's very challenging.
But I think what is also challenging is how does anyone stop Hannah Hilcoff?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was another great goal from a really a tough angle shot there, that she finished bottom right, straight back to the draw, which she won last time. I think that will be a question on a lot of coaches' notebooks when they come to play Israel. How do you stop Hilcoff?
Yeah, it's you have a few tools in your toolbox. You can change up personnel. You can change the amount of pressure that you're applying so that maybe they even overplay the ball and then it goes beyond the circle and your defense can get more engaged in play. But it's definitely tricky trying to create some change against a really strong self-draw draw taker.
But there's some nice D from the Swiss, and also probably a pretty risky pass there from the Israelis, as Lipkin has the ball behind. And straight into the stick of Leila Kande. Although Israel looks like they'll be able to corral this back. With a bit of pressure from the Swiss. Oh, and a great feed into the middle there, but yeah, probably lucky again to get away with with just a kind of across the body check there. Couldn't have been that far away from the head. As we're seeing number 20, Annabelle Gertsch, go to the center hash mark.
Oh, look at that. Great stop by the goalie, and that's what we said. It's hard to take those free position shots all the way out from the 15-meter. The ball has 4 extra meters to travel. The goalie's going to have an extra second to track that ball.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen her pass it off, maybe to Hilkoff was free, or just run that in a little bit more. But
it looks like she's struggling a bit now with what looks like an ankle, so she'll be substituted off with number 16 coming on.
Yeah, it's so tough to rip a one-step shot now from the 15. So I would much rather see players run it in or pass it off.
Whoop, there we go. Shooting space there for Team Israel. Belgium, or sorry, not Belgium. Still on the last game in our minds. Every few seconds, Switzerland will get that ball back after some nimble passing in the midfield.
Yeah, and the ball back to Laura Conrad here, who already has a goal on the day for Team Switzerland. Back to the free position line.
Oh, beautiful feed right in front of the goal. Enough defense there to make it tricky. They're going to keep moving that ball around.
A nice quick ball movement here. Looks like they're setting up an isolation.
Yep. They need to get a little bit more separation from those defense off ball so that those passes become safer.
And a nice move there underneath. Oh, but an even better stop.
Unfortunate, she did get the flag on that.
Yeah, but that was a great save. A nice little move to dodge underneath there, but a fantastic save from the goalkeeper.
We have about 8 minutes left in this final quarter. Just for everyone curious about that.
Oh, and a similar move on the other end. That's number 10, Leo Podara.
Beautiful. It's essential to make sure you have 1 or 2 fakes when you're moving across that crease line to make sure your goalie is moving and has to adapt to the ball.
And you can see the Israeli team are pumped because I think this is her first appearance on the women's national team after playing for the under-21 national team in Prague last summer. She's an elite army athlete, which means she does some service and then does the rest of her time kind of growing the game for Israel lacrosse. So, I mean, amazing story from her perspective, but also just how great to get a goal on your debut for the senior team.
Mm-hmm. And that was really such a wonderful tournament to watch. For anyone who tuned in last year, I think all the games are still available on YouTube, but I think we'll also see some other teams bringing in those U21 players from that tournament. I know Sweden has a few, and it's just wonderful to see younger lacrosse, those younger age groups really start to develop across Europe. It hasn't always been the case.
Whoa!
And another commanding goal there by number 23 for Team Israel.
That's Zoe Martin, her second goal of the day. But yeah, taking it straight from the draw all the way down. Impressive, quick, speedy. Israel do look so strong, don't they?
They do. It's just the confidence they have, the patience to look for that second and third opportunity.
You can hear cries from the crowd of Hopp Suisse. Let's go Switzerland is what they're shouting. But they are up against some really, really tough opponents today.
And I think that's going to be a timeout. We should have around 6.5 minutes left to go in this game.
And maybe it's worth talking a little bit about the Group B and the group that they find themselves in. So Israel, Germany, Latvia, Switzerland and Poland. I think Israel will be for sure the favourites to qualify top of that group. Everyone who qualifies top of their group gets an automatic bye, doesn't have to play a play-in match, and they get that bye through to the quarterfinals. But then I think it'll be really interesting to see what the German, Latvia and Polish teams come out looking like this year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. This is Poland's debut in the European Championships. Them, along with Portugal, are here for the very first time. But I wouldn't discount that for Poland because I've seen them in the club game. We've seen them at Ken Gulitrio Cup. We've seen them in local tournaments. And they have incredible athletes, really gifted coaching staff. When we've seen them at those tournaments, they're immediately competitive. So I'm really excited to see how they perform in their first European Championships. Latvia always brings a really great physicality to their play. They've placed really high in some previous European Championships, and I don't want to show favoritism, but I love watching a German team play. The systematic approach they take to the game, and they really do try to use that full roster and set up some really interesting systems throughout their play. Sometimes it works in their favor, sometimes it doesn't, but it'll be interesting to see how they fare in this tournament.
Yeah, and I think Germany will be looking at kind of one of those top 2 spots in the group and really have their eye on those.
Absolutely, they'll be fighting for that, and just have really developed the sport internally in Germany. They have multiple leagues, multiple levels of leagues. Yeah. They're competitive in the field game, the sixes game, the box game. So it's always great to see them investing so much into the sport locally.
100%.
Oh, a little bit of miscalculation there, but
6 flying, but
Switzerland's going to come around with it. Oh, unfortunate there. Behind nets, always a precarious place.
I think that that really started with the goalkeeper there, Leighton, like just putting her stick in the passing lane, making it hard for the Swiss player to catch that ball. She really helped cause that turnover there. See a bit of a scrap for this in midfield. Loose ball. Israel come away with it. And move it down the pitch.
Blue ball.
Yeah, a little bit too hard of a push there, I think. By Team Switzerland.
Dorothy Kurtz call for the foul. Yeah, and good D there from Switzerland. Really not allowing her any option. Doberman there, drawing the foul. Second inside hash. It looks like one of the Swiss players caught the top of that shot and sent it flying out. Back behind with Talia Schnitt.
And now we see Israel using a little bit of a stack play for the first time this game. Really trying to isolate that ball carrier, experiment with some different offensive strategies. And what an interception there by Switzerland, looking at that ball. But Israel will retain possession.
I think she was called for a cover there. But nice
play,
nice
great
idea.
Work in the air, not so much on the ground.
Yeah, nice play, nice idea. Yeah, and interesting to see Israel kind of starting to look at their playbook, run through a few things before other more competitive matches maybe. Yeah, and kind of check into the face there. I think that was certainly the right call from the ref.
Yeah.
Worth saying, what a good job that the officials have done of this game. Kept it really safe, really fair. We've seen a lot of free positions, so we have really seen a lot of quite dangerous play.
Oh, and that shot goes a little bit wide. Yep, we have 34 officials joining us for this tournament. Majority coming from Europe, but also from North America, from Asia, and Oceania as well.
Amazing. And sorry, I shouldn't have said dangerous play. What I mean is they're preventing dangerous play from happening.
They're preventing dangerous play.
As we see Israel back on attack here, leading Switzerland 20-6, but that was a nice interception there. As we're seeing Switzerland content to take a bit of time off the clock.
Yeah, I think we're probably nearing 2 minutes here.
And that was a nice clear, but unfortunately unable to corral that ball, and it's straight back to Team Israel. Ball up top with Levy Smith.
Beautiful opportunity there.
Passed off straight to Zilberman, who wasn't able to convert on the free position, but is able to convert there for the 21st goal of the game. if you're the Swiss coach, what do you think that they'll be thinking about? How can they make some changes going into the next games in pool play?
I think the rest of pool play is going to be quite starkly different for them compared to this game against Israel. This is always going to be the toughest game in your pool, and to have that be your first game of the tournament is always a challenge. On the other side of that, though, it can be nice to kind of get it out of the way, and then you can focus on having that strategy that may take you to 4 games, and focus in on that. So I would say, what can we learn from this game? What issues are going to travel over into those other kinds of games? I think especially with getting those midfield clears up and those immediate passes to get down into their own possession area is going to be critical for them moving forward, and could easily be replicated by other teams' midfield rides. But I think we've seen some great highlights from them in the offensive zone, great passing. Once they have a bit of, they've taken their shoulders down a little bit, they'll have a lot to work with. So, yeah, I think they'll learn some lessons from this game, but they know that this is going to be a little bit of an outlier for them during pool play, is my assumption.
No, I completely agree with you. I think that's that's a great point, that this will for sure be a much tougher game than they might get in the rest of the groups.
Wonderful clear out to the midfield there.
Straight
As
to
I said, we
Conde.
need to see that. We need to see that next pass as soon as we can. There we go. Oh, unlucky there, but as long as they have enough speed, they can get to that ball first, and they come up with it.
But yeah, I think what I would say is, gone are the days where there are easy groups. I think all 4 of the groups at this championships are tough.
Oh, what a wonderful
any team.
opportunity! Could have used a little bit more momentum on that shot, I think. Great sight there by the Israeli goalie. Well, I think this is our first championship in a blue group.
Yes, correct. So the first championships where the top 5 or 6 teams are not playing in the same pool and do not automatically get entry into the into the top stages.
And I think that was beautiful bounce shot there.
Great shot there from Shirin Ataji.
Yeah, and I think that was based on the feelings of all of the teams in the championship. They want games, even if they feel like it's going to be a little bit unbalanced. They'd rather have the opportunity for an upset than have those teams protected, because so much can change in 4 years. Your team personnel can change out 80% sometimes with people aging out. If you have a new crowd of under 19s or U20s coming into your program. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that.
Yes, and it's so interesting. Interesting formats, interesting games, and the sport just getting bigger and better every year, every championships. As we see there, Team Israel finishing the game 22-6. Israel really showing why they are a contender for this title, and Switzerland still with flashes of excellence, and excited to see what they can do with the rest of the tournaments.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back again soon with more matches. All the matches from this tournament, from the European Championships, will be streamed live, so you can catch all of your favourite teams and watch more lacrosse, more European lacrosse than you've been able to in a long time on the streams. Thanks very much.